Alright, get out of here. It's my turn for a video. Hello everyone, James here, or rather, for this video, Tricor. Excuse the nasally sounding voice, I'm having a bit of a cold right now. Anyway, since we're on the James Variety channel, and I'm using my superhero soda instead of my usual persona or transformer soda, call me Tricor for this video. Anyway, today I've got a very special video for you. Superman, the Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow, the big blue Boy Scout, champion of the oppressed, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Now, one common topic in modern discussions is evil Superman, and honestly, it's a topic that's been done to death. There's DC's Overman from pre-Crisis's Earth 17, Ultraman from the various versions of Earth 3 that DC does, the Overman of Earth 10 or Earth X, not to be confused with the first Overman, by the way, the lovable but warped mentally bizarro Injustice Superman of Earth 49 or Earth 22 in the Injustice multiverse, and even some dark multiverse Superman. But that's just DC. Outside of DC, there's Omni-Man from Invincible, Brightburn from, well, the movie Brightburn, Homelander from The Boys, and Plutonian from Irredeemable. Post-editing James here to say that I forgot a few evil Supermen. Today, I want to introduce you to a new evil Superman, Ice Cream Souperman, from Alex Lennon's Alexander and Jacob. Alexander and Jacob is a comic series created by Alexander Lennen back when he was a kid. His original series featured Ice Cream Superman in one comic, and then he was like pretty much gone. Recently, though, Alex rebooted the series and elevated Ice Cream Superman, now spelled Ice Cream Soup or Man, like the word soup. Anyway, to the main villain. So let's dive into his history. When we first meet Ice Cream Superman, it's in issue 1 of this new comic, and he's beating up the world premiere superhero team P6A. They're essentially like the Avengers or the Justice League of this universe, and he is seriously defeating them. Until Alex Man, Alex's self-insert, which he had a self-insert in the original comic series, so he's pretty much using a new one. And at least with this one, he like gave it a superhero name. The last one was just himself. Anyway, he arrives and defeats Ice Cream Superman with a hairdryer. Yes, that is right, a hairdryer. He just shoots it at him and melts him. But Ice Cream Superman gets the last laugh, using his psychic powers to trap Alex in a hallucinatory nightmare. Ice Cream Superman's real name in this series is Carl Creamer. Yes, Creamer, I know, it's funny. He had a relatively normal life, if you ignore the fact that he had a habit of biting his classmates. And unsurprisingly, he was not well liked by his peers. Eventually, when Carl grew up, he decided he wanted more power to inflict more pain, and so paid to undergo an experiment that turned him into Ice Cream Superman. Because his name is so close to, well, the titular hero, Carl gets mocked constantly in universe, people constantly asking how DC Comics has yet to sue him. However, Carl will bring up the fact that Superman is a dictionary term and was not invented by DC. This is brought up when Carl tries to sue Alex Man for quote unquote embarrassing him. However, the superhero lawyer rejects the case, mainly because of the copyright surrounding Carl, but also because he remembers Carl from their days in school together. He recognizes his name, Carl Creamer. So, humiliated, Carl just returns home and tries to forget about everything and act normal. But his mother, irritated by his antics and having enough of having a murderer for a son, or at least an attempted murderer, kicks him out and disowns him. So, he goes to join the gang of Dark Master, the arch nemesis of P6A. Think of it like, I don't know, maybe like their Lex Luthor, or maybe even their Loki. I don't know, whichever you consider the main villain of the Justice League or Avengers. And despite being a serial killer, Dark Master is like surprisingly chill. Like, you know that skull guy from Venture Bros? He's like that levels of chill. Like, he is a murderer, he's a serial killer, but he's like just the chillest dad. Anyway, due to this, Dark Master lets Carl in, much to the chagrin of the other criminals there, because they don't like Carl. Which, I mean, that seems to be a trend in this universe. Carl isn't liked by his peers, he isn't liked by his mother, and now he's not liked by other criminals. He is an outcast amongst outcasts, which is actually a common theme between him and Alex. Alex has imposter syndrome, so he's mentally a bit of an outcast from his fellow heroes. Later, the gang of criminals attacks the mayor of Scotland and attempts a bank robbery as well. Carl is pumped and seems to, at least he claims, to be ready to fight P6A and get revenge on Alex Man. But fellow villain and member of the gang, mind reading Tsunami, yes, that is his name, yes, I know it's ridiculous, reads his mind and discovers Carl is actually quite scared of Alex Man, despite how much he claimed to be willing to fight him. And so Carl decides to get revenge on mind reading Tsunami for reading his mind, and so creates, I don't know what kind of image, but apparently it's an image so disturbing and so disgusting that mind reading Tsunami loses his damn mind and pounces Carl out of the flickin' building. Carl then ends up unconscious on the floor. When he wakes up, he's blinded by rage toward Alex Man and goes hunting for him blindly. He doesn't even care about anyone else around him, even like absent-mindedly killing two cops and freeing his boss, Dark Master, who he immediately ignores right after because he's not Alex Man. And that is all Alex Lennen has published of this character so far. He's published a few issues, but so far they seem to be focusing on the villains. I mean, the heroes as opposed to the villains. So there's been nothing more of Ice Cream Superman thus far. When there's more story and enough to make a video off of, I will return. Anyway, with that all the way, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Tricor out.